This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We'll head across the country here, the site of the Super Bowl in New Orleans. Rich Gannon joins the program now, former NFL MVP, and he is on the Progressive guest line. Good to talk to you as always, Rich. How are you enjoying that great city?
Guys, I'm doing great. I'm running around. Radio Row has been insane. As you know, it picks up. We get to Wednesday and it starts to get nuts. But Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday is absolutely insane. And it's a who's who of guest list. You know, it's funny. Today we had on Troy Vincent. We had Eric Dickerson. We got Troy Vincent on our set, and then Eric Dickerson comes walking over. And I said to my co-host, I said, "Look at this guy." I said, "Eric Dickerson, is in his early 60s, and he looks like he could still carry the ball about 15 times a game. It's incredible." But, you guys remember what type of running back he was in high school in Texas, in college at SMU, and, of course, in the NFL, the Hall of Fame career. But it's so much fun to be here. And, of course, the focus of everyone down here is the Eagles and the Chiefs. And we had an opportunity on Monday night to be with the players at the stadium and do some interviews and really get a great sense of what they're able to get accomplished last week in terms of getting most of that game plan installed prior to jumping on those planes on Sunday.
Yeah. Okay, so you've had a week and a half to think about it. You're also talking to a lot of people who I'm guessing that you really respect this week, a few days before the game. Which side do you like at this point?
If you talk to a lot of the so-called experts, NFL analysts, players, coaches, people that are down here, people whose opinion I respect and value, a lot of people focus on this Philly offense. And there's offensive lines, the best offensive lines, the biggest, nastiest offensive line in football. We had Jordan Mulatto on our show today, and this guy is 6'7", 365 pounds. I mean, it's incredible to watch him run. And you've got Saquon Barkley that rushed for over 2,000 yards this season, and a quarterback that's mobile and it's healthy now. And I just, there's been so much attention on this Philly defense, but I still harken back to, like, who's in a critical situation. I got to have a situation. Who do you trust more, Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes? And for me, it's like this Chiefs defense doesn't get the respect that they deserve. I think when you look at the fact that Chiefs don't have a 1,000-yard receiver, don't have a 1,000-yard running back, it's the one guy, it's the glue that keeps it all together. It's Patrick Mahomes. I'd be hard-pressed to pick against a guy like Mahomes in a big game like this.
Sure. What would you tell Kellen Moore if you were the quarterback? Do you want to come out throwing, get Goddard and Brown involved, or do you want to pound Barkley? What would you want to do?
I think the mistake that you make in these type of games is getting away from your identity. Who are you as a football team? I think for the Philadelphia Eagles, it's being a physical ground and pound attack. It's being patient with the running game. Like Saquon Barkley may not rush for 100 yards in the first half, but he had 1,245 of his 2,000 rushing yards in the second half of the game. So you have to stay consistent. You have to continue to chip away at it. He may get a couple of negative runs. He may get a couple of runs for 2 or 3 yards, but it's that 60-yard run that kind of ignite a football team. And I just think you look at some of the big runs, a lot of times they show up in the second half of games. So I think Philly will be patient with the running game. I don't think they want. I think the critical down for the Chiefs defensively is first and second down. You got to get Jalen Hurts in 3rd and 6+ situations. And I think you talk about the Eagles. People say, well, it's 1st and 8 for the Eagles, because if you get them in a 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 4, they're going to run it twice, and they get in the plus territory. They're going to run the ball, and it's really 4-down territory. So the Chiefs got to be really good on 1st and 2nd down.
Let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, former NFL MVP Rich Gannon. He's on the Progressive guest line. He's also live in New Orleans for the site of the Super Bowl this coming Sunday. Kelce was awesome against the Texans in the divisional round. Championship Sunday against the Bills, didn't do much. Buffalo was awesome against him. And we all know, Rich, that the Eagles have been elite. Well, they were anyway in the regular season against tight ends. That, a little leaky against Zach Ertz 2 weeks ago, and then before that, Higbee was really good too. Scored a touchdown. Does Kelce have a big game for KC on Sunday?
It's hard to say, because I think he's been a little bit inconsistent. But I would say this: with an extra week off, he's not a young guy anymore. But I think with an extra week of rehab and recovery and treatment and ice tubs and those type of things, soft tissue work, he'll be fresh for the game. And I think when you have a fresh Travis Kelce, that's good news for Patrick Mahomes and this Chiefs offense. I think where he's really good, guys, is on third down in the red zone in critical situations. Got to have it. He's a guy that Patrick Mahomes trusts. He knows what to do in those situations. He knows how to create separation. He's really good at defining whether it's man or zone from his days of playing quarterback when he first went to the University of Cincinnati. I think when you say a big day, I'm not so sure anymore what that means for Travis Kelce, but I think he'll be an effective part of the game plan, especially in critical situations.
There's a lot going on here, right? And you're talking to everybody, and what's the juiciest rumor you've heard in terms of awards tomorrow, maybe Hall of Fame stuff? What are you hearing down there that you thought was interesting or blew your mind?
I had Tony Pizzelli on today, and obviously he's got a new role with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm excited about that. But, this Hall of Fame thing, guys, there's only 371 players in the Hall of Fame. And, there's a lot of first-year candidates, and Eli Manning's name has come up, and people say, well, it's not when you look at the class of candidates, there's maybe not a lot of slam dunks. And so I just thought this could be a good year for Eli, but now I'm hearing some stories and rumors anyway that maybe he's not getting in this year. So that could be a surprise for someone who won 2 Super Bowls against Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. I think some of the voters are going back and forth on the fact that, you look at his body of work and the 1-loss record and so on and so forth and say maybe it's not as smooth sailing as people thought for him to get in. So it could be the surprise of the weekend when it comes to the Hall of Fame.
What do you think of his career? He's an interesting case, right?
Well, I think when you look at the 1-loss record, I mean, first of all, I think you look at the longevity. The guy had an amazingly long career. I think he had some really good seasons. But people say, well, how about the Pro Bowls and All Pros? And didn't have a lot of that. And didn't really, the 1-loss record was almost around 500. And you say, well, is that Hall of Fame worthy?
Yep.
So, I mean, it's a couple different ways to look at it. I think in the big games he played well. In the postseason he played well. Of course, those 2 Super Bowl wins are noteworthy. But I'm not a voter, guys. But I think it'll be very interesting. It should be a pretty exciting honors night on Thursday when they make that announcement, along with all the other awards. I mean, people going back and forth. Is it going to be Lamar Jackson? Is it going to be Josh Allen?
Right.
That could be a very, very close vote when it comes down to it.
No doubt. I know this. Giants fans are going to lose their minds if Eli Manning is not voted in on the first ballot. But I actually, Rich,
are they going to lose their minds more than when Saquon Barkley rushes for $1.75 I mean, think about it. If you're a Giants fan, right? Can you imagine if you're a Giants fan and watching what you've watched this year, Saquon Barkley, not only having the season that he's had, but having it in a uniform that's green. Right down the road from the Giants. I mean, it's the division rival. It's a team that they hate.
Yep.
If you're a Giants fan, I don't even know if you can watch this Super Bowl.
It's a great answer.
Yeah, no kidding. Yep. Okay, so I like Philadelphia in the game. So if I like Philadelphia, do I not need to add a little on Saquon Barkley to win the MVP of this game?
No question. I mean, look, if someone's going to be the MVP for Philadelphia, it's got to be Saquon Barkley. They're not going to abandon what they do and who they are as a football team to try and have Jalen Hurts throw for 350 yards against Patrick Mahomes. That's not how they're going to win. To win the game, you keep Patrick Mahomes on the sidelines where he belongs. You do that by controlling the ball, controlling the clock, and running Saquon Barkley until he's blue in the face.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you like? Any player that you think is going to go off? I know Xavier Worthy rushing yards has been a very popular bet. Do you think anybody else here offensively has a big game?
A.J. Brown, guys. I think A.J. Brown could have a big game. The other one, Dallas Goedert. I think Dallas Goedert. You look at him, what he's meant to the Eagles this season when he's been healthy. He's healthy now. We talked to him the other night. And the other thing about Dallas Goedert is, I think when you look at third down, you look at red zone, you look at the got to have a situation. That's where kind of Jalen Hurts wants to start. So tight ends could be big in this game.
Yeah, no question. Rich, thanks so much for the time as always. We appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the time that you have in New Orleans this week.
You guys are the best. Thanks.
There you go. Former NFL MVP Rich Gannon on the Progressive Guest Line.
You cannot put that guy in the Hall of Fame. You can't do it.
I screamed about this for years on my the local radio show I did, Paul, when you were at the same spot as I was for many years out here in Las Vegas. Like, you can't come on, stop.
You can't put Eli Manning in and not Plunkett. Plunkett's the only guy to win 2 Super Bowls and not be in. The win-loss record, any direction you want to take it. I mean, they won a Super Bowl 17-14. He had one drive in that game. It was the defense, the Manningham catch and the Tyree catch. Come on. The Manningham throw was a nice throw. But the other one is, Doug Kazarian said this. That you never considered that guy in fantasy, ever.
No,
he didn't put up great numbers.
No, he had way too many down or like below average or bad years as a starting quarterback to say he's automatically got to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, right.
And I don't think 2 Super Bowl wins, that's not enough to trump an entire career. It just isn't.
I agree.
By the way, this will tell you the betting. I Googled the first thing that popped up on Google, he's minus 125 to make it.
You're kidding.
I would have guessed that he would have been minus 1,000, and I would have loved the no, obviously, now at this point. But
all right. Well, we'll see. Get ready for big game 59 with a big deal. I would not vote for that guy.
Neither would I.
It's your final week to save $59 on a VSiN Pro annual subscription. Sign up code FTM. $181. Full year for $181. It disappears after the game. VSiN.com/subscribe. Promo code FTM.
Best and worst teams, ATS, NBA, and college basketball up next. And totals, we have a long list of teams hitting higher than 70% for the season. Find out those teams next here on VSiN.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah. This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. We are live downtown Las Vegas, Circa Resort and Casino. This was the spot of last year's Super Bowl when our next guest was kind enough to join us in studio early in the morning when we were on from 4 until 7 Pacific time. Now he's in New Orleans, obviously the site of this year's Super Bowl. And he, again, is kind enough to join us this time on the Progressive Guest Line. It's the great Sal Paolantonio. How are you today, buddy?
What a great year we have had together. Just think about it. This time last year, 0 dark 30, I get picked up by the limo, taken over to your studio, and it has been a beautiful year together of Uncle Vito and Vito's son and Follow the Money. So it's been fantastic. I really appreciate you guys having me on. I'm at the Eagles Hotel, and the mood around the team is pretty optimistic, pretty confident. This is about as confident as I've seen an Eagles team going into a Super Bowl. They figure that they can take care of business in this game. They like what they can do offensively. I think the big question mark is defense. I tried to explore that a lot today. That was my focus today with Vic Fangio and the defensive players. How are they going to handle Patrick Mahomes II? You really got to play 2 defenses. You got to play a defense when he's in the pocket, and then you got to shift gears once the play breaks down and he starts to move around the pocket and improvise. It's really 2 defenses within 1 down, and that's what they've been practicing.
So does it sound to you like they're almost telling everybody or within the organization like they're going to have to outscore them, like they're expecting a lot of points probably in this game?
I like them to score a lot of points. I like a lot of points scored in this game. This is a very fast turf, as you know, at the Superdome. This is that S5 AstroTurf, and it is extremely fast. It's a high-performance turf. That's how they promote it. That's how they publicize it on their website. And that's how it performs. It's made for speed. And I think the Eagles understand that they have to throw early in this game, get up early, keep their foot down on the gas pedal, stay aggressive. They're going to need 35 points in this game to beat the Chiefs, I believe.
Oh, mamma mia.
Oh, I'm stunned by that. How about this, though? And you cover everything and look at every possible angle, and you just mentioned it. The Eagles are phenomenal on artificial turf, and they shut down the Saints. They don't give up anything. NFL low 11 points per game. Is there something there? Are they talking about that?
Yeah, they are, Mitch and Paulie. They are. The first defensive meeting on Monday that Vic Fangio had with his defense, he put a graphic up on the board, and one of the players told me about it, and we verified with ESPN stats and information that the Eagles are 5-0 on AstroTurf, on artificial turf this season, giving up only 11.6 points per game. That's a full touchdown more than the number 2 team, the Chargers, and the number 3 team, the Vikings, a full touchdown better than the number 2 and 3 teams on artificial turf, only 11 points per game. So that's pretty significant.
I'd say so. All right. Well, we asked you for the pick, your official pick last week, and you said, hold on, boys. I need another week. I'll give it to you the Wednesday when I pop on before the Super Bowl. I'm going to guess that you're going to go with the hometown team there in Philadelphia. You like them to win on Sunday?
I do like them to win on Sunday. You know, I think, as I mentioned last week on the show, this is the second of 3 ball games between these two guys, between Mahomes and Jalen Hurts, between Kansas City and Philadelphia. And Kansas City won the first game, just like Joe Frazier won the first one. Ali won the second one, and I think Jalen Hurts and the Eagles will win this one. And I like them a lot in terms of the over in this game. I think both teams will score a lot of points. The Eagles will get up early and then hang on and win.
Okay, because that's music to my ears. The biggest bet that I have so far in the Super Bowl is the Philadelphia team total over 23.5. I also have not gotten there yet on Barkley to win the MVP. I missed grabbing 3-1, but we kicked this around with Rich Gannon earlier in the show. Like, if you like Philadelphia, you kind of have to add him to win the MVP in the game as well, do you not?
Well, Rich Gannon's a smart guy, but if the Eagles are scoring big points, Jalen Hurts will win the MVP. The points will come out of the passing game. Last 2 times that Jalen Hurts played this team, he put up big yardage in the passing game. So that's the key. Up early in the passing game, he had 304 yards passing in Super Bowl 57 against the Chiefs. He had that one turnover, that scoop and score by Nick Bolton. And that was really, to me, the difference. That was a momentum shifter, gave Kansas City new life. But they were up early in that game by 10 points, as you know, going into the halftime locker room. And they believe they're very confident that they can score on this Chiefs defense. But, you know, they got to hang on for dear life when Mahomes put on the furious charge in the third and fourth quarter.
You're right. Let me alter what I said then. Okay, because I like Barkley a lot. What if I bet both guys? Is there a scenario, and you're expecting points here. So let's say we get another shootout between these two teams and Philadelphia wins. If I bet both Hurts and Barkley to win the MVP, who's going to burn me?
Wow, that's a good one.
Is there another Philadelphia player that could possibly win?
No.
Oh.
Definitely not.
Wow. Okay.
If it's a shootout and they win, I would agree with that.
It's either going to be Hurts or Barkley. I think it's 1 and 1A.
Uh-huh.
But to me, it's Hurts. If the Eagles win, it's Hurts as the MVP, without a doubt. And if the Chiefs prevail, to me, it will be Travis Kelce as the MVP. Because if you look at the Fangio defense, and I mentioned this to you last week.
Damn right
you did.
Yes.
Zach Ertz had a ton of targets in that championship game because we all know that the Fangio defense has got a big hole in the middle. The tight end will sit in the middle, will be open in the middle. I see Travis Kelce with double-digit targets in this football game. Double-digit, without a doubt.
Dickerson, they say he's okay, and is there any way you'd miss? He's going to have to be carted off the field. Dickerson's status, and does it concern you, his status, and also how bad they were short yardage in the NFC title game?
Yeah, so listen, Dickerson, I saw Dickerson today. He was walking without a limp. We'll get the practice report shortly here. They're just coming back right now from the Saints practice facility. I'm at the team hotel. They're just coming back, and the practice report will come out shortly. Dickerson and Juergens, definitely worth watching. But, they understand what Kansas City did against the quarterback sneak of the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
As Lane Johnson explained it to me, teams look at the TV copy of the game and try to pick up Jalen Hurts' snap count. And we also look at the TV copy of the game and look at what Jalen Hurts' snap count is and where there might be vulnerabilities, and we alter it. He said to me, tush, push, TP, timing, power, tush, push. The timing of the snap allows us to get the leverage that we need and the power that we need behind it, because if we jump them before they jump us, just for a millisecond, just for a half a second, we have the advantage because of Jalen Hurts' squat ability, 450 pounds or whatever it is. Timing, power, tush, push. They study the TV copy. We do too, to see what our vulnerabilities are, and we will adjust and we'll be fine. That's what he said to me.
Excellent answer. I'm going to let you redeem yourself. 30-28 Chiefs. 5 seconds left. Elliott from 51 in the win. What happens?
Bang! Right down the middle.
You said he's 100% last week. Oh, man, I can't believe that. I hope you're right, but I'm concerned that guy from distance.
110 inch on that turf?
Yeah.
In that dome? Yeah, absolutely. With all those screaming people, that hot air will lift the football. Come on. Do your physics, baby. Come on.
Okay, not a problem. Are you able to get good Manigot ziti meatballs? Are you looking?
Madon, I found a great spot here. Madon, I found a great spot. I found a place called Gianna's.
Oh.
It's like 2 blocks from my hotel. I'm going to tell you what. I had it last night. It was so good, Mitch and Paulie. I'm going back tonight.
Good for you.
All right. So I'm going to give you the menu. Okay.
Yeah.
They bring out the meatballs and the sauce for an appetizer, and they have the bread. They have the bread soaked in cheese and baked.
Oh.
And they got it cut up in little pieces, and you dip it in the sauce. Now that's the appetizer. Then they bring out the bolognese with the linguine. That's the full meal. And then here's the thing: lemon mousse cake with a little limoncello on the edges to give it a little kick.
Sounds amazing.
Oh.
That sounds absolutely amazing.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, you're the man. Yeah, good.
Gotta go back
That tells you how good it is.
today.
Yeah, perfect.
Gotta go back tonight. Listen. I want to say thank you to you, Mitch and Paulie. Thank you, and everybody. Follow the Money and VSiN for a great year together. There's nothing like it. It's the best part of my week all year long. Thank you for the opportunity to be on your show.
The feeling is mutual. We love talking to you. We look forward to it every single week. So thank you, Sal Pell. That was awesome. Another great season for sure. And let's get it here for Philadelphia, okay?
51-yarder. Bang! Right through the middle.
I hope you're right, buddy.
Might
Hall of Famer.
Might get a Mike Breen double bang on that one.
He deserves it. I respect that. It was so good, I'm going back.
Sure.
What a testament to Giannis? Whatever. Giannis. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
We've had another trade in the NBA. We'll tell you about that. It's Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We continue talking Super Bowl Sunday. Several ways to examine that day in general, obviously with the bets here on VSiN, a gambling network, but also it's the most, the single busiest day of the year for people to have parties at their homes on Super Bowl Sunday. It's the most viewed event every single year on television. Yep. So people get together like gangbusters, and they've been doing this for 100 years. And J.R. Starkus is in studio. He is the director of new accounts at Southern Glacier Wine and Spirits. He's going to make a cocktail that you can have on hand to impress your friends or your party on Sunday here coming up in a few minutes. Can you think of like the best Super Bowl party that you've ever been to? Or is it easier to think of like the worst Super Bowl party that you've ever been to?
I think, the good ones, I feel like I've been to a bunch of good ones, right? And I think the good ones are the ones that kind of have the ideas that we've spoken about. And to me, my biggest factor is a good mix of people that I want to hang out with, people I want to talk to. But I've been to some fun ones. A buddy of mine will come to town. He's a big 49er fan as well. He'll come to town and he'll usually get a suite at a hotel room, and he'll do something in the suite. Those are fun because, like, you feel like you're in a different environment, I guess, even though
it feels super special.
Yeah, it feels special, but like you're in a hotel. You're not necessarily somebody's house, so you're not being an idiot. I don't want to say that, but it just feels like you don't want to. Oh, I spilt a little bit. Oh my gosh, your carpet. I'm so sorry. Like the hotel has that in place because that happens all the time, right? There's cleaning crew. I'm not promoting you to go spill things. Sure. What I'm saying is that like there's already steps in place for that stuff. If I spilled something at somebody's house, I feel like I got to get on my knees and clean the stuff up right away. I feel awful. At a hotel, though, you're like, hey, I'm so sorry. Let's get housekeeping up here, and they can handle it and clean up. But I think some of the best ones I've ever been to are the ones that have just a good mix of people. In the hotels are usually fun, or at somebody's house where they have I enjoy smoking cigars. So if somebody has a party, like a buddy, I might go to his house this year. He's got a great connection to some cigars, so I might go to his house. But if you can go in the backyard, smoke a cigar, or someplace that has several televisions, so you're not on one, right? So if you're in the living room, it's there. But if you're in the dining room and you're talking to some friends there, it's on there. It's on in the backyard.
It's on in the backyard for your cigar smoking. Then obviously,
right.
Go there whenever you want.
So wherever you're going, like you have an option to view. That I think those make the good ones. So it doesn't matter where you're at, because sometimes it gets too packed in the house.
Sure.
So if you have a lot of TVs, that's good.
Are you thinking about trying one new this year, maybe with a Kansas City angle, to watch the game?
Well, I have a couple friends that are obviously in the industry. One of my friends that is he's a general manager at a place locally. They're around, this Chicken and Pickle. He's asked me to come through, and they have like 80 televisions. It's exactly the idea I'm telling you about. Like they have like 80 something televisions. So being able to go to any bar, any place, and be able to have the game on. So if you're outside, inside, at a bar, downstairs, sitting down, there's a TV on around you. Like I like that. Especially, sometimes if I go with my wife and she's like talking to me, I'm like, yep, like right over there. Are you looking at me? You're looking at the game. Both? Can I answer both? But those are good.
All right, the floor is yours. What do you have in studio here that you can whip up for us, but more importantly, the people watching and listening to the show?
Yes. Okay. So, super simple cocktail here. If you like a margarita, this drink you're gonna love.
And who doesn't?
Yes, exactly. So, this is a cocktail that's actually a twist on a quasi or new classic, I guess you call it. The drink is called the Siesta. The Siesta cocktail was created in 2006 in New York, and it's a tequila drink basically. And basically, it is tequila cocktail or margarita mixes with a Hemingway daiquiri, so the inclusion of grapefruit juice. What I'm doing for you today is making that drink, but doing it with Weber Ranch vodka. I put a poll out every day, like a question of the day on my JR Makes Drinks Instagram, and I ask all kinds of goofy stuff. But one of the days I asked, well, what would be your Super Bowl spirit of choice? And between vodka and tequila, it was like 64% of the choice. Whiskey was there too, or as well, but at 40%. But between vodka and tequila, it was like 60-something%, and then nothing else basically after that. With that said, Weber Ranch is a vodka that's the world's first vodka that's made from 100% agave. So when you taste it, it's like vodka and tequila had a baby. It's
that's wild.
It's outstanding. Like I can't explain to you how fun this is to play with in the mixology world, because generally vodka is the odorless, colorless, tasteless spirit, and Weber Ranch is not that. It's got a lot of flavor, but it's like tequila light or vodka heavy. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's the perfect mixture of both. So our first ingredient is going to be Weber Ranch vodka, and I'm going to use 1.5 ounces of Weber Ranch. I'm going to put it in my mixing tin here. This is going to be a shaken cocktail, so I'll put 1.5 ounces here.
Do they make that in a 1.75 liter bottle as well?
They sure do.
They sure do, huh?
They sure do. But this is absolutely one of my new favorite ingredients to play with. I use it quite often, and people love it. Even my cocktail geek friends, when I show them this new vodka, they're like, come on. And they taste it like, whoa, I told you. Like, you got to listen to me. So definitely recommend a bottle of this for the house. Then you're going to use simple syrup. This would be normally in the margarita. This would, of course, be agave nectar. But we're going to use simple syrup. It's 3/4 ounce of simple syrup. Fresh lime juice, right? So we're going to use 3/4 ounce of fresh lime. 1/2 ounce to 3/4, if you will, of fresh grapefruit juice. And this last little bit should be on anybody's home bar as well. This is Campari. This is the classic bitter Italian liqueur. And you only need 1/4 ounce of it. That plays very well with anything tequila and also grapefruit juice. Okay? So 5 ingredients, all you can find at the liquor store or the grocery store. Weber Ranch, simple syrup, lime juice, grapefruit juice, Campari. Okay? The nice thing about the Weber Ranch and the Campari, of course, is that they'll never go bad. So no matter you buy a small bottle, buy a big bottle, it's not going to go bad on you. So I have everything in my mixing tin. Now I'm just going to add some ice, and I'll give it a little shake.
All right. And by the way, again, as JR said, follow him on Instagram at JR Makes Drinks. Great handle. He puts up content all the time. And this here, by the way, for those of you listening to the show right now, you can go back and check it out on the VSiN Watch app because they've been putting a graphic exactly of what is in this drink as well if you want to. There, it's up again right now. So job well done by the fellas in the back, everybody involved here, and all the ingredients that RJ just ran down. All right, so yeah, you're right. That's coming out looking like a grapefruit-colored cocktail.
Yeah, so a little pink. That's from the Campari and the grapefruit juice. The garnish is just like a lot. This is a grapefruit that I'm just zesting the oils of the grapefruit right over the glass so that you get that nose of grapefruit. You can probably it'll start to waft over there, as a matter of fact. And then you just drop it into the glass like that. That's it. That's the drink.
That's the drink.
That's it. So that's like a margarita and a Hemingway daiquiri had a baby with a vodka that is like vodka and tequila had a baby. So it's outstanding. You can use any tequila you want if you want to do it. I would recommend a Blanco tequila if you don't have this at home. But if you're looking to purchase something new that can also be another conversation piece at your party.
Sure.
Right? And something that I assure you will enjoy, and it really cuts the gap for the people that are like, oh, I like tequila. Oh, I like vodka. Well, you can cover both bases right there.
Yeah, you're not kidding, by the way. I can smell it from here.
It, right?
And Weber Ranch available nationally, I'm guessing, everywhere?
Yes.
Going to give it a shot, Paulie?
Do it.
All right.
You like margaritas, Paulie?
Plus, yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
The funny thing is, like, I have made these for my wife before. My wife is not a fan of grapefruit juice or Campari, and she loves this drink.
Really?
Yes. When I let her taste it, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, that's delicious." I said, "That's great because you hate two of the ingredients in there."
Yeah.
But they're not too overpowering, right? It's a sour, refreshing style drink. Yeah. You can do. I put it in a fancy glass. Obviously, that's what I have at the office. So you don't have to put it in that. You could also serve the drink over ice if you so desire to serve it over ice. If you're like, JR, I don't like the fancy glass at whatever watching a game. I get it. So put it over ice. It's just fine. Or don't put it over any ice at all. Just put it in a rocks glass with no ice, just like this, and just drink it normal. But it's a tremendous cocktail using Weber Ranch with all the things you can find at the liquor store and the grocery store, and that's huge.
There you go. That is excellent, and that would be a big hit on Sunday for sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
Just like last time, A+. Go to his Instagram.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Everything.
Thank you. The guys, the flip got a lot of. A lot of people loved it. A lot of people. I can't tell you how many people reached out with photos about them making it and how unbelievable they thought it was.
Oh, good. Very good.
Yeah, it was really cool to see that and people trying it at home, and how I didn't have anybody come back and say they didn't like it, which is great because sometimes you put a whole egg into a drink and it starts to freak people out.
Yeah, right.
And it did not.
True.
So take my word for it. I won't steer you wrong. I promise you. These are all things that when I come back on, I'll use Campari again.
Whether you're a seasoned bet or just joining the action, Super Bowl success starts with VSiN Super Bowl Betting Guide. It's packed with everything you need to make informed wagers, detailed game preview, top trends to watch, betting strategies, finding value in the market, final score predictions, MVP picks as well. Become a VSiN Pro subscriber today as little as $9.99. VSiN.com/subscribe. Get your guide. VSiN.com/subscribe.
Excellent job, JR. Again, he's on Instagram at JR Makes Drinks, and he is the director of new accounts at Southern Glacier Wine and Spirits here in Southern Nevada. So you're going to go. That's Mahomes' new place, by the way.
It is. I think he's part owner of it or something like
Chicken
that.
and Pickle?
Yeah. I think him and Kelsey.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think
so.
Those two.
Enjoy it on Sunday.
I will. You do the same. Thanks, fellas.
There you go. That drink will be a huge hit. We'll go over some more Super Bowl props coming up next here on VSiN.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I'll bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3-to-1 odds. Nope. 5-to-1. Nope. 10-to-1. You're on.
Got there with Portland with the G-Bank, but BYU no good, and I wasn't the only one. From pick up to 3. And they lost at home to Arizona, and they were 11-1 at home, and I knew I was in trouble at halftime because they played a good first half, a really good last 10 minutes, and still Arizona was tied at halftime. So another good win for Arizona. Like they're 10-1 in league. Incredible. All right, we're getting close. We are getting close. You can feel it. We're on the air live, Super Bowl Sunday, 1 to 4 Pacific. And that means, yes, first quarter, grade the national anthem, coin toss, first possession, all the props, all of it first play. Both teams have a 1-yard touchdown, plus 310 at Will Hill Caesars. Shortest touchdown drive, over 59.5 seconds, Will Hill. Longest quarterback rush, over 16.5, widely available. Will there be a missed field goal, a fumble, an interception? Yes, plus 375, that's at Caesars. Successful 2-point conversion, plus 255. Mahomes over 28.5 rushing yards. Kansas City Chiefs players under 8.5 with a reception, 8.5 under. Heavily juiced to the under now. Octopus, shop it, 14, 15, 16 to 1. Let's get creative. Maybe that can happen, and it did 2 years ago. Rushing touchdown each quarter, 15 to 1. You saw with the craziness that cashed last 2 Sundays ago in the NFC and AFC title game. Maybe this big boy comes in again. Hurts and Mahomes, 15 yards passing each quarter, $1.10. Hunt and Barkley, 5 yards rushing each quarter, plus 450. Goddard, catch every quarter, plus 450. Barkley, 10 yards rushing each quarter, minus 150. Each team, touchdown, field goal each half. Both teams, 12 to 1. Barkley to break Timmy Smith's record. That's at a couple books, 10 to 1. Chiefs to convert a 4th down for the game, just for the game, minus $2. Philly, $7, which is something. Total turnovers in the game, under 2.5. That's moved. It was 160, 150. It's higher than that now. Chiefs to make the Chiefs' longest made field goal in the game, even money. Both teams to make a 33-yard field goal, $1.10. Quarterbacks to combine for 100 yards rushing, 9 to 1. Longest touchdown drive, under 80.5 yards. That is at Caesars. And taste it. Getting close, baby.
Okay. Last night, winner with Arizona BYU over 152.5.
There you go.
This push on the Raptors-Knicks game still has me a little bit bitter.
Yeah, what happened here? It was like a 1-point game late, too.
Oh, okay, so first of all, let me tell you this. The Raptors outscored the Knicks in the first, third, and the fourth quarters. They outscored them by 4, 5, and 6 points. So that means they outscored them combined by 15 points in those quarters. I'm catching 6. I got to push. That's because the Knicks outscored them by 21 in the second quarter. So it's down to like a 3-point game late. It's the final seconds of the shot clock for the Knicks. Brunson gets open. He's dribbling a lot. He finally finds a spot, puts it up, bang, way downtown, 3-pointer. That's your ball game. 121 to 115.
Got to stop. No final. No foul. I mean.
No foul.
Yeah.
But what was worse is that the Raptors had 3 looks.
Oh, I saw this.
Offensive rebound.
Yep.
Miss.
Olenek.
Offensive rebound. Miss.
Dick. Yep.
They kept getting the ball over and over and over again, and they took a 3 every single time. Could hit nothing. I walk away a very sour pusher.
Did you watch Bad Beats with Stanford Stephen Van Pelt?
I missed it this week.
There was a college game where they kept they just laid it in, down 5 and 6. And the point spread was like 3.5, and the kid down 5, he just laid it in at the buzzer. It's like, what are you doing? They were down 4 or 5, and he just lays it in.
All right.
And they laid it, and they fouled, and they lay it in. They kept it just...
Pending here, thanks to Mike Somich. He was all over this a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
I bet Worthy over immediately 4.5 rushing yards. Little pizza money on Goddard. Most receiving yards in the game at 12 to 1 when that first came out. Biggest bet that I have so far, the Super Bowl Philadelphia team total over 23.5. That was minus 122. Other bets here that we have. This is for tonight. Goddard plus 135 against Kelsey. More receiving yards in the game. And I had to play Oilers Blackhawks over 1.5 in the first period.
Yep.
Our buddy, Jonathan Davis, who is the VSiN betting analyst. You can check him out every day at vsin.com. He's been all over this since like last night. Chicago 17-2 run. Edmonton 9 straight and 11 out of 12. Overall, Blackhawks again 17-2, updated 11-2 last 13 in the first period. The goalie expected to go tonight for the Oilers. 10 straight first period overs when he's in net. So laid $1.38. I think it went up. And also, based on what you were saying earlier, I did have, I think I laid minus 40 cents for a goal in the first 10 minutes.
It's a good price. Make money daily. You're already betting and doing what you love. Put money back in your pocket at Edge Boost. Pays you cash back to wager. Take it to the next level. Card never declined. Don't leave money on the table. Never had your deposit blocked by your bank right before a big bet? Or you needed cash at 2 a.m. for another shot at the tables, but hit your ATM limit? These fees are outrageous. What they charge you as well. Edge Boost has your back. The first ever bank account built for bettors. All your gambling-related transactions will always be approved. No more headaches. You can move up to $250,000 a day. On your Edge Boost Visa debit card, unlimited withdrawals. Works 24/7 for instant deposits. Never wait for a wire to clear again. And every time you deposit to a gambling account, you earn cashback rewards up to 0.5 percentage point. All this for no usage fees and no minimum balance. This is a bank account, not a credit card. There's no approval required or credit checks. Edge Boost has a suite of responsible gambling tools to help you manage your bankroll and make informed decisions. EdgeBoost.bet. EdgeBoost.bet, promo code FTM. Code FTM start at Tier 2. For faster bank transfers and higher cashback rewards, sign up for Edge Boost today. Great to have you.
All right, good job. Good job by everybody who works on the show behind the scenes today, as always.
These Taylor Swift props at the Westgate are phenomenal, and there's a couple other ones that caught my attention. Shake It Off. Eagles to score first and Chiefs to win plus 310. That won last year. Worthy to have a 50-yard reception, blank space, plus 1650. Fearless. Mahomes 5 yards rushing in each quarter, plus 825. Barkley to have a 50-yard rush, plus 375. Does he do it again?
I hope so.
Does he break at least one?
Yeah. I'm rooting for my bets to come in this weekend, so that would be helpful, I would think. There's a whole section that they have over there called Swiftie Specials, tying in like 25 different Swift songs. Good job by them. As I said earlier, you get everybody involved then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, because it's something
damn
that,
right.
You know, your girlfriend, your wife, whoever, your daughter. Oh, that's interesting. That's fun. And then you talk to them about the prop, and they have no idea what that means. But then you can have some fun with it on top of it.
Yeah,
so.
We got more coming too. There's all that stuff. Will he propose? Will someone propose? Will someone retire after the game?
Right.
All that good stuff.
So busy show on Sunday as well. We're going to be on the air, our normal time, 4 to 7 Eastern time. The final hour of the show, again, we want your feedback. We're going to go inside Mitch and Paulie's Pizzeria. Some pizza money bets that you put on the game, maybe some big odds. You can always email the show with your bets, ftm@vsin.com. That's the best spot, ftm@vsin.com. On X at vsin live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Paulie Howard. That's going to be at the top of the hour. Leading into the game, Patrick Everson is a man about town. He'll join the show. Then, that's going to be, at that point, bottom of the hour, you're grading the national anthem. The coin toss is going to happen. And we're going to be on the air for, I think 22 minutes after opening kick, right around there. We might have 8 props that come in at that point. There might be a prop every play that gets cashed.
Mm-hmm.
As these books are offering more and more bets every single year for the Super Bowl.
Yep. And follow JR on X and Instagram to make that cocktail and have some fun at your Super Bowl party as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, up next, Von Tobel is going to be on primetime for the next 4 hours. He's live in New Orleans. He was eating all of the Southern food, the Cajun food.
Have you had Gator?
I've had Gator before.
He loved it.
He loved it. I actually, when he mentioned the blackened catfish, now you're speaking my language.
Yeah.
You know, you get into the jambalaya, the gumbo for sure. Were you surprised that when you asked Sal Pal, immediately he's like, oh yeah, I found a great Italian spot last night. It was so good. I'm doing it again tonight. But he's in New Orleans.
I was surprised. I thought you
went
would
in Rome.
I know,
right?
Oh, Maron, he goes right.
I will say though,
he wants his meatballs and gravy. I mean,
but okay, that restaurant. So they have the bread soaked in cheese. Now again, from Wisconsin, I can't live without cheese. I have to eat cheese. I love it. It's my favorite food in the world. So that's soaked in the cheese, and then you get to dip it in the meatballs and the sauce and the gravy. Oh God! And then following primetime is Cashing Out, Joe Serralo. Tomorrow, VSiN by the books to get your day started at 7 a.m. Eastern. Good luck tonight.